Welcome back to another episode of Balancing Healthy. You guys, I'm very excited to be in your ears today because I'm interrupting my current scheduled post just to do a little bit of a life update, what's been happening, what's going on behind the scenes. And I think it's one of those things that call me nosy, but I love to know what's going on behind the scenes. So if you follow me on Instagram or anything like that and you've been seeing my posts like, I'm so busy, I'm about to get into the why behind it because, like I said, all the time people go, oh, I'm busy. And then you're like, but what are you doing? Like, I'm so curious because I think it's that thing of like, especially if you don't work in that industry or, you don't do what that person does, then it's very hard to understand it all. And something with me is my work and my things that I do. It's just like, I don't think there's anyone else that is living the same kind of life that I live. Like, take it with a grain of salt. There's certain things I'm talking about, but we don't need to go into every single thing. However, I have got, as usual, I've got a bunch of notes because like so much has been happening, but I've also got my calendar. I've also got my vision board because I kind of want this to also be like a check-in with how I'm feeling, even though I've still got another like month or so of craziness before it all dies down. So I'm going to get into it. But firstly, I just realized I hadn't set up previously my microphone holder at home. So I got this microphone stand that you can't see in this clip, which is cool. I got this clip on my birthday, which was the 6th of Feb. It's currently the 17th of March as I'm recording. And I'd set it up in a podcast studio because I had to batch some episodes ahead of time because, again, busy girl. And I just was trying to set it up and I was like, how the frick do I usually, like, where do I put it usually and how do I do it? And then I was looking back at my previous podcast episodes and I'm like, oh, you've actually not used it at home yet. I've used it for my other microphone that plugs into my computer for like calls and stuff, or like for my guest episodes that you would have seen some already and there's still more to come. But yeah, I was just like, this is cool. I haven't set this up for a while, which has been really good in terms of like logistically, like finding time and everything, like to batch everything, as well as being really, really good to keep the podcast going. But it feels really fun to do this in kind of like real-time vibes. So anyway, your girl has been so busy. And actually, before I get into it, I am running a masterclass on the 30th of March at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time because that's the week before clocks go either forward or back. I always forget. Before it, daylight saving stops. So Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So it's like 6 p.m. in Queensland, 4 p.m. in Perth, like that time. Like I've intentionally put it at 7 p.m. so as many people can come live as possible. But pretty much I'm running a masterclass called Busy and Balanced. It is completely free to come to. And pretty much in this masterclass, I really want to dive deeper for you guys into why you're struggling with, falling off track, struggling to be consistent, struggling to balance out health and fitness, like nutrition, like training, all the things in your busy schedules, because it is something that I clearly have been like fully having to be like diving into myself recently, which you'll see in this episode. But it's something that I work with a lot of my clients too, because I work with some pretty fucking busy women. And it's like a lot of us are so ambitious and we want to do so much and be so much and I guess prove so much, for lack of a better term. But it's something that I think, then you got to figure out how can you do all that and still like look after yourself in the process. And this is something that there's a lot of people, like other business owners I know, that like have completely neglected themselves to say build their business. But I've always been someone that's like, no, like my health comes first. And like my business is based off health. Like I'm a personal trainer, nutrition coach. Like I just can't let myself go, quote unquote, to then to put the business first and then not be practicing what I'm preaching. Like to me, like it's my health and fitness is so important to me and feeling good is so important to me that it's like I just have to, like we have to keep it going. So this masterclass, like I said, is really structuring around that, like identifying why you're struggling, the science, I guess, the explanation behind it, and then helping you with a strategy to be able to get consistent and implement everything that you need to that'll work for your life with like your health and fitness around your busy lifestyle, whatever kind of thing that you're doing. So really, really beneficial if you want to come live, so then you can ask questions whilst we're there. Pretty much if you love like the podcast, you'll love this masterclass. Obviously, if you cannot make it live, the replay will be available. So if you're listening to this podcast before the 30th of March 2026 at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, then send me a message on Instagram and I can send you the link to register. Like I said, it's completely free. And then if you're listening after the fact, you can still listen to it because it's going to be something that I'm going to have ongoing, as well as like they call it evergreen. Like it's something that just like, I can send you the link to the replay kind of vibe. So anyway, shall we get into it? So I might go into my calendar. Like I said, I've got my notes, but I might go into my calendar because it'll just kind of like prompt me a little bit more. We're going to take this back to January, mid-January. So like I said, it's currently the 17th of March. The fact that everything I'm about to get into started 2 months ago, like literally the 14th. Actually, I would take it back to the start of the year. I would almost say, looking at my calendar, I haven't had a quote unquote normal week in 3 months nearly. I'm looking like pre-Christmas vibes, I think. And I'll explain that. So like Monday, the 5th of January, right? That was when like everyone's back to work. We're back on, like everyone's feeling good, like things are happening. And like that was my first proper week of work for the year. It still kind of wasn't in terms of like in-person stuff because people are still on holidays and like I wasn't as busy in that aspect. But in terms of like, no more public holidays, can work on business, like that was kind of my first week back to working properly. I also at this point hadn't restructured my routine yet. So I was working a little bit extra in person. Even though I just said people were away, there was like, I was working extra days. Anyway, but Mitchell was also actually on call this week. So it was kind of like a weird week for me because I yap so much. Like I'm podcasting, I'm doing check-ins, I'm doing content. Like it's kind of hard for me to work when he's there, if that makes sense, because he literally, like, if you could see my setup, he's literally just like right next to me, like that's where he sits. We're in a very small apartment, so it's just like it's a little bit like it's not my usual routine. So there's that. And then from the next week, the next Wednesday, 14th of Jan, this one all started. So I did 3 trips in January, right? And my intention for this year was, a bit more freedom, a bit more travel, a bit more balance in like the thing of like pulling back my OCD, if you will, and letting myself live a little bit more in that sense. So of course, naturally, I was like, someone says, you want to come on a trip? I'm like, yep. And to take this fully back, I knew I had a really busy March and April. So I said to myself, and I think I said this to other people, I was like, I'm not scheduling much in Jan or Feb. Like, we just want to keep it really chill because I know I've got a really busy March and April. And then, of course, I get asked, Sarah, do you want to go on a little trip? And I'm like, yep. But these 3 trips I did in Jan were all like super low key and like low key, like really needed them. So the first one was literally a Wednesday to Friday, which was with my fam, someone that mum works with, like has a house in Locksport and, was like, if you want to go up there, like feel free. So like we went with my brother, my sister-in-law and my niece and the dogs, and we just went and chilled for a couple of days. The weather wasn't great considering it was midsummer, but just kind of chilled for a couple of days. That was really nice. We got home the Friday night, was literally had one full day at home on the Saturday, the 17th, which was my sister's engagement party. Had some health scares in the fam. Like a lot happened on that one day. I had to meet up with my clients as well that morning as well. So a lot was happening on that one day. And then we went away the next day on the Sunday until the Tuesday. Again, this time with Mitch's family. Again, they just went down to Sandy Point, had like a little Airbnb for, I think they were there for a week, but they were just like kind of come and go as you please. So we went down for, was that 2 nights? Monday night. That's 2 nights. Yeah. Which was so nice. It was actually, I've never been down there. It was stunning. And the beach is like, it was so windy. It was actually stupid. It felt like a sandstorm, but it was stunning. The beach was just gorgeous. The sand, gorgeous. Like there's no one around. Like it was just, I can't explain it. And like we were running down like this town is so fucking small. Like we just like ran down the main street and then onto the beach, went for a swim. Like it was just so fucking wholesome. And we had a really, really good time. Then we were back for literally 2 days. I'll say 2.5 days. Again, straight into work, doing as much work as I can. And then on the Friday, because it was the Australia Day long weekend, we went down to like Phillip Island area. So from the Friday to the Monday we came back, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Friday to the Monday we came back, and then it was kind of like, well, it was public holiday. So like we got back Monday night, and then it was like a short week, which then led into, we did some stuff. Oh, that's right. that weekend I just had a few things on for work, my birthday, a couple of things. And then my birthday was actually the next weekend. And then it was just full on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like different events. Like for context, I don't live near my family, my friends, anything like that. So when I go for birthday things, or when I go to catch up, or when I go have dinner, like whatever the thing is, like we're traveling like an hour each way. Like it's a time. So I remember just being exhausted on my birthday weekend. I was just, Mitch and I went to the beach at one point to chill, and like we're in the water for a tiny bit, got out laying on the towel, and I was like, I'm fucking exhausted. Like it was full on. I can't even explain it. And just like, because I was working as well, like it was just, there was a lot. And I think also listening to all this, that was from the 14th of Jan to the 9th of Feb. Like everything I've just mentioned was in that, 3 weeks? 3.5 weeks. So there was a lot going on there. And then the next weekend, I've scrolled to Feb now because I think I'm done with Jan. So yeah, Jan, like very nice trips, really gorgeous stuff, but it was just a lot. Then the next weekend was, what's that? Middle of Feb. Oh yeah, that's right. So intentionally, I didn't plan much on this weekend because I was like, I've got a lot going on, but I did have some more birthday things again with friends, just like trying to tee everything up. I have a very busy social life apparently. So trying to tee things up just became hard. But that weekend, yeah, it was just kind of having some time at home. I had a normal work week, like things were good. Like I think this week though, I was bulk recording the podcast. So when I say things like that, it just takes away from my usual routine. So if I'm bulk recording, it's like a whole day, right? Depending on the episodes. If it's like I'm got a guest recording, I have calls all in between, like all of this, like I'm doing check-ins, I'm trying to do content, like I'm working in person, I'm programming, I'm doing like a million and one things all in between all this. So when I have days of bulk podcast recordings, like it takes a little bit of time, and then you've got to upload it, and then you've got to, oh my God, excuse me, I just burped. Upload it, schedule it, then by the time it uploads and it does all that, depending how I'm filming it, for the best quality, it takes a long time. So yeah, got to upload it, do all the things, and then content from the episodes, and then like logistics with it all, like recording, like getting guests lined up, like there's so much that goes into it, and that takes away from my normal day-to-day. So it's like, it felt like I was losing days, even though I'm batching ahead of time. Felt like I was losing days. So I was doing all of that as much as I could by the mid-Feb, in between my normal work. Because then the week after, Mitch was on a different shift as well. So he was getting home at like 2:30, 3 o'clock. Again, it's like I just have to restructure my days. So it's a little bit different. And then I went to house sitting from the 21st of Feb, house/dog sitting. My little Ollie, if anyone knows Ollie, he's so cute. But Ollie lives with mum. Just for context, mum lives about, when there's no traffic, it's an hour and 15 minutes from my house. The thing with that though is I work near the city. I'm not saying locations for anything. Well, work I can say. I work in South Yarra, but locations of where I live and where my family live is not relevant to any of you guys. But yeah, anyway, I was still obviously going to have to go to work from mum's house. She's like out in the country. I call it the country. It is the country. It's regional. So like, just trying to logistically work out, okay, I got to be at work at 5:30 in the morning. I have to leave at 4 a.m. Like actually, no, not 4 a.m. Like 4:20, 4:15. Do you know what I mean? So it's like logistically trying to work things out, like routine has changed. Like usually I get the train to work. It's so easy. I get to work in like 20 minutes, whereas I had to drive, and then I've got to figure out parking, and then it's a whole logistical nightmare that I do not need to get into. I'm pretty much dog sitting at mum's from the 21st of Feb, and I did it until the 10th of March. It was meant to be the 12th of March, and then I was going to go straight to my retreat, which I'll get into after. But I did it till the 10th of March. The other thing is my mum doesn't have Wi-Fi. So I was having to go to my sister's house, which was like 10 minutes further out, to work from her house all day, which thank God, because her and her partner are both teachers. So they were out all day. So I was like, cool, at least I have like my whole day to, get as much work done as I can in these hours, and then go back to mum's and do what I need to do, which Ollie loved because he got to travel with me quite a bit. In the end, all the things that I was doing kind of in this time as well, in this 2.5 weeks, obviously traveling to work, coming back and stuff. Between Mitch and I's schedules, he could only come down to see me once. He did end up staying both nights, but there was only one weekend. So we had like nearly 4 weeks of not really seeing each other, like having any time together, which like can be really hard. But I think we were both so busy as well that the time just flew and we didn't even really think about it. So anyway, in this 2.5 weeks I was at mum's, obviously lots of travel, lots of things on. I also had multiple places I had to be in terms of things I'd scheduled, in terms of, you know, I'm a bridesmaid in April, which I'm going to get to, and, you know, organising the hens, executing the hens, like we had the hens weekend, doing other wedding stuff, like traveling to from back here, like everywhere, like no one lives near each other for all the people that I know. So it's just like a lot of traveling, logistics, all the things, which just like actually like was so much more fun than I thought. Like I thought I'd be more exhausted than I was, but I think again, it's that thing of like, I was at mum's on my own. Like obviously I had the dog with me, but just like having a lot of time to kind of decompress as well was really, really good. But yeah, there's just a lot going on. I also thought as well I'd get through so many audiobooks with, you know, traveling so much, but I've been in my podcast era, loving a podcast, not really getting into audiobooks. So I've been listening to a lot and I've been vibing it, which is why I'm like, I love a life update, because I'm like, it's just so fun. And like, I'm listening to a podcast at the moment, like going back to their old stuff, which they started in 2022. So they've got like nearly 200 episodes. And it's just fun to hear like what they were getting up to back then. So it's like, I could listen to this, or any of you guys could be listening to this like 2 years after I've posted it, just being like, I just want to binge balancing healthy. And it's like, wow, that's really cool. Like, it's just fun. Like, I find it really fun. So let me know if you find this stuff fun. But anyway, back to this whole 2.5 weeks at mum's. I also, oh my God, gave myself food poisoning. Or it was gastro, it was a stomach bug. I don't know what it was because I didn't really have that food aversion afterwards. But it was one day, I think it was like middle of my stint at mum's. I was at my sister's house doing my work. And I was like, oh, I just don't like feel great. And it just like wasn't going, like I had some water, like I just kind of sat down. It just like wasn't going away. So I texted my sister. I was like, hey, just letting you know, I've already left your house like a lot earlier than intended for that day. I'm just not feeling great. Went home. Anyway, within an hour, I was vomiting my guts up. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like thank God I had left when I did, because, it was something so intense. Like I've had food poisoning before, but I don't remember the headache being so intense. Like I was like, my head is like, just feels like it's going to explode. Like I couldn't think. I was like, I know I'll feel better tomorrow. Like it was that thing that I knew whatever it was going to pass. But I was like, I know I'm going to feel better tomorrow. But I'm like, I have to make it through, because it's only like 4:30 p.m. at this point. I was like, I have to make it through this evening, through the night. Like I was like, I'll probably sleep on the couch, because again, at mum's house, her bed is really high. So I was like, if I need to quickly jump out of bed and vomit, like it's a long way down. So I was like, I'll sleep on the couch, and then the couch was really uncomfy. And I was like, I'll go to the bed. And then it was just, I was sweating, but I was shivering. And I was like, it was horrendous. And I was like, I need to take something, but I can't take something unless I have water or eat, but I can't have water or eat because it's going to come straight back up. So then it was kind of pointless. So I was just kind of in this 24 hours of like, I just feel horrendous. And like I was on my own too. There was no one around. And I was like, oh my God, I just feel disgusting. Like it was horrendous. But it did mean the next day that I was forced to rest. Like I said, there's no Wi-Fi at mum. So I was like, I'm not going to sit on my laptop and work. Like I will actually just rest. I just like watch some movies, watch some footy. Like I was just trying to chill. And then it took me a while to get back into it after that. I reckon for like a week, I was still like, my tummy was like, having moments of like, don't know if that food's going to sit well. Like I just, you know what I mean? Like, so maybe it was more of a stomach bug. I don't really know, but it was horrendous and I was not having a good time. So that was involved. And then when I started to come good again, it was the hens weekend, which was the long weekend. I feel like we've had so many public holidays in the last 2 months. Maybe it's just me and my schedule that I've had, but it was a long weekend, Labor Day weekend at that point. And then I spent the whole weekend doing like bridesmaid hen stuff. And the Monday I spent the whole day pretty much like resetting mum's house because she was coming back within a couple of days. And then did a day of work on Tuesday at my sister's, and then came home Tuesday night. Like, didn't get home till 7:30 p.m. by the time I come in and unpack and shower and have dinner and do all the things. And like, I didn't get to bed till like 10:30 or 11, and my alarm was at 4:30 the next morning for work. So the reason I'm just saying this is because like, it sounds like, oh, like cool, like you're just doing all this stuff. But I'm like, it takes away. Like, the day that I was sick took a whole work day away. The Labor Day public holiday took a whole work day away because I was resetting the house because I couldn't do it on the weekend. The days that I was batch recording podcasts, like took days of work away. So like, I've had so many days of work that have been quote unquote taken away, but it's all been for a greater purpose. So anyway, I got home that Tuesday night, went to work Wednesday morning, 5:30 to 1:30. Got home, had to like repack, do some programs. I think I put a tan on, maybe, I don't know. I was doing all this stuff. There was so much I had to do. And then Mitch and I had a quick dinner, and then my friend who was coming to the retreat, so a retreat was coming up, she flew down from Queensland that night, and then I went and got her and then came back. We literally went to bed, woke up, and was off to a retreat from Thursday to Sunday. So that's right. I didn't say that's why I was repacking on the Wednesday. Got home Tuesday night, repacked on the Wednesday, and then off to a retreat Thursday morning. Again, not nearby. It's about an hour drive in a whole different direction though. Like, I've been in so many different directions in Victoria. I'm like, I feel like I've traveled the whole state at this point this year. But anyway, a whole different area. Retreat was stunning. Had such a good time, and that actually finished on, oh my God, excuse me, I just burped again. What's with the burping? So sorry. That finished on the Sunday just gone, so 2 days ago. I literally got home from the retreat, went to like unpacked everything, and then went to wedding dress shopping with my sister, which was so stunning. We had a little lunch, and then I got home, and like, I had so much work to catch up on from the whole week because, like I just said, I only had the one day on Tuesday to work. Like, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday to Sunday was all like taken up by other things. Which has led me to yesterday and today. Yesterday I ended up doing quite a long stint, lots of one-to-one check-ins, lots of balancing her check-ins. We're 8 weeks through the current 12-week challenge. So every 4 weeks I get everyone to fill in a check-in form. So it's like monthly check-ins instead of weekly. Just so it's like that little bit more self-led, but like we still get to check in and see how things are going. So it's always just a bigger day when that pops up. Plus, again, still trying to catch up from everything, trying to have time with Mitch, like just trying to do all the things. And then here we are today, recording this podcast, getting work done in the back end, doing all the kind of things. And then the day this is live, Thursday, the 19th of May, we are flying to Perth. We're flying to Perth for a week. So I've got a big work day tomorrow, all day packing, and then packing after. I've got 3 calls. I've got a bunch of other shit that I've got to get done in there. And then we go to Perth very bright and early Thursday morning, which I'm so fucking excited for because I'm going to stay at one of my clients' houses, but she's also one of my really good friends, and she's just making me so excited. She's like, I've got the guest room ready for you and Mitch. Like, you get your own bathroom. Like, oh my God, like we've done up an itinerary. Like, we've got all this exciting stuff happening. So we're there for a week, but we're actually going because on Saturday night we're doing an overnight marathon walk, which 42 kilometers of walking. I still don't feel like it hasn't hit me that I'm doing it yet because I've had so many other things on that I don't think about it until it comes up. So I probably won't think about it until I'm on the plane on Thursday. I haven't done any training. Like, truthfully, done no training because I have just like, it's not even really been a thought in my head apart from trying to get my donations up. It's not really been a thought in my head. And like, Mitch messaged me randomly. I think it was the public holiday. He's like, oh, I've just done a 20K walk and like my feet are fucked. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. Well, now I'm a little bit nervous. Charlie's also done that. So that's who I'm staying with. She's also done a 20K walk like for training. And I'm like, guys, I literally walked for an hour and that's it. So the walk's going to take us, I think 8 to 9 hours, I think something like that. And it's overnight. So I could be fucked, but I'm also like, it'll be fun. Like, I'm really not too stressed. Like, it should be fine. I just got to warm up my hips a lot, get the glutes nice and warm, lower back stretched out, because I know if I walk for too long, sometimes my back gets a little bit sore. But apart from that, I'm like stoked to be there. Like doing it with Mitch and Charlie, I'm like, we're gonna have the best time. So I'm so excited. I'm also gonna meet up with my Perth clients while I'm there, because I do monthly meetups with my Victorian clients, but obviously that's because I live in Victoria. So because I'm gonna be in Perth, I've got a whole little mob in Perth, and I'm so excited to meet them in person. I've literally only met Charlie, and then that's it. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, no, I've only met Charlie and that's it. So fucking excited to go and see them, which is so much fun. And then, oh my God, and then I think like we've got a little bit of a break. I'm just looking at my little notes because we'll get back from Perth the 26th of March. And then I've got a couple things on that weekend. Again, I've got planning a meetup with my Melbourne clients. I've just got to like sort a few other things out that weekend. The next weekend after that is Easter weekend, which as soon as we have public holidays, I'm so thrown like out of routine. So again, I'm already out of routine the next weekend. And then the weekend after, I was actually meant to be hosting a retreat and made the executive decision to postpone it to October, purely because I'm like, with so much going on, as you can imagine, I've been recording for 26 minutes. With so much going on, I'm like, it's just giving rushed. It feels just a little bit, not icky, but it just feels like I wouldn't be giving my best. And now we have more time to plan it. So I've got an events organizer doing it with me. We've got more time to plan things. The Airbnb, we actually booked it like 2 months ago. They were fine. They're like, yep, you can move your dates. That's all good. The reason I did October as well, because I was like, I want good weather. That's very important for my retreat with some things that I have planned in my head and the house that we've got. So I want good weather. And I just thought like in November, I've got another trip planned. It's my sister's wedding in Thailand, so going to that, obviously. And then once I get back, it's like Christmas parties have started. All the things is going on. So I've made it October. This will be a fun little test if anyone listens to the podcast, because I'm not launching the retreat to Instagram or socials in general until sometime in April. So if you're listening to this and you're like, want some more information, you want to know about it, it is in Victoria. It's down in the Rye, like Mornington, like that kind of area. And it'll be for 2 nights, 3 days. So Friday to Sunday. I won't give the exact dates away yet. It's kind of like mid-October-ish. Yeah, mid-October-ish. And yeah, you can just send me a message and then I can send you the deets of what we've got so far. But the other good thing with that as well is because it's much further away, like we can do more extended payment plans as well. So if you're like, I really want to come, but like money, send me a message. Like I can do any kind of payment plan you want. You can pay in full, pay monthly, pay weekly, fortnightly, whatever the thing is, and we can set it up. So I'm fucking excited for that because I've been to so many retreats and the feeling when you're there of being so looked after and cared for and you just feel so good. And like, that's the vibe that I want to bring for this retreat. And obviously my retreat's a business that I've been to. So it's not a business retreat. This is a very health and fitness one. It's more about like pulling you out from society, letting you have like your own kind of space, time. There'll be a bit of downtime. There'll be a bit of, there's activities that I plan. I'm not going to give too much away. I'm going to stop talking about it, but I've done a structure very intentionally. So it's very health and fitness, but balanced vibes. So expect a little bit of something you probably wouldn't expect at a retreat. It's still going to push you a little bit. Like there's a mix of everything, but I don't want anyone to feel like stressed, if you will, about coming to a retreat. Like it'll be a lot of fun. So anyway, I'm very excited. A couple of spots have gone though. So, and obviously it's limited because the house only has a certain amount of beds. So anyway, message me if you're keen for that and we could talk about it. So yeah, anyway, that feels really clean. And then the weekend after that is when it's bridesmaids time. So pretty much from that next Saturday to Wednesday is all like bridesmaids duties, wedding, all the fun things. So I'm really like locked in for that, which is exciting. And then a couple of days after that, it's like Anzac weekend and we've got a gig and then I can breathe. Then I can breathe and I'm so fucking excited. And it's really my own fault, isn't it? It's really my own fault because I took saying yes to everything just like a little bit too far. And some of it obviously was planned well in advance, like the Perth trip and the wedding and like all of those things. And then I just took saying yes too far. But like, I'm literally having the best time. And that's the thing, is like, I'm having the best time doing all of this, that I'm just busy. Like, time is fucking flying and I'm just busy, but I'm having so much fun. Like, I can't really explain it. Obviously, apart from the being sick, that was not great. I'm just having the best time. And something that I also wanted to normalize as well is something, okay, I'm like, how do I word this without wording it weird? Something that I also wanted to normalize is I, in this period of time, won't have trained for 5 weeks. So pretty much from, you know what? Oh, sorry if you heard that. That was my sticky case on the back of my phone. What's it called? Picture pal thing, whatever it is. It was suctioned to my desk and I just pulled it off. So I didn't do a fart, but it was just my picture pal. So anyway, back to the 5 weeks of training. I'm just trying to think, when was that? When did I last train? What's the date today? 17th. I know I said it was definitely, oh, that's right. It was the morning of when I went to, I nearly said the name, when I went to dog sitting. So that was the 21st of Feb, and that actually whole week, because I'm trialing a new gym as well. So in this whole time as well, I've changed my in-person PT schedule to something that suits more me, which I haven't actually been able to sit with it properly in my normal routine because I've had so much on. I am changing gyms because I just need something different. I need a different gym. I want to be able to do a bit of classes, but a bit of like on my own stuff. I found this gorgeous place near me. I had a bit of a moment of leaving anytime is hard because I move so much and like I travel so much. Like, I actually paused my Anytime membership before I went to Mum's, and it still paused because there's one near my sister's house, not near it, it's further, but in the same town as my sister. But logistically, it was not going to fucking work. And trust me, I sat there and I looked through it and I was like, can I do it? Can I not? And like, then with the dog and like all these things, it was not going to work. So I paused that, mid-Feb or something. And then I was trialing a new gym and they gave me a whole week for free to trial. I was like, that is so slay, because I have never heard of that, doing a whole week free. And I did 3 classes that week. So I didn't actually use the like commercial side yet. But I did 3 classes and I loved it. I was pushed hard. And the cardio one was so fun. Something actually really interesting. We did a sled push. It was just a push. And I was actually terrified because I was like, I haven't done a sled push in ages. And they had quite a few heavy weight plates on the sleds. And I was like, it's been years. Like, I think since I was at F45, which I was at F45, I think I stopped at least 5 years ago. Like, it's been years since I've done a sled push. I was terrified. But I went to do this sled push. It was so fucking easy. I was like, wow, my strength is really paying off. So fucking easy, to the point where the trainer sat on it and then she added like another like 20 kilo kettlebell. She was like, this is too easy for you. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, I'm clearly fucking strong, aren't I? So that was a lot of fun. I was on such a high after that. But that cardio class as well, like, I need my cardiovascular fitness to get better. Like, she's just not great. But I don't want to run all the time. Like, sometimes it's just the endurance of like going to a class that still has strength, but like being pushed harder, having less rest time, like doing things a bit differently. Like, sometimes it's just that, and that is what I want. So I'm keen to like properly sign up there. But that's the thing where I said, okay, 5 weeks of not training. I've gone on a tangent. So I last trained on the 21st of Feb. And then that was 3.5 weeks ago. And then with Perth, going to Perth this week, obviously doing the overnight marathon walk, I'm not going to be, Charlie does have a home gym. So I'm like, see how I feel after. But she's got a whole itinerary plan for us. So we might not even be at her house. Anyway, the whole thing with that. Anyway, by the time I come back from Perth and then sort my life out that next weekend, it'll literally have been 1, 2, 3, 4, just over 5 weeks of no training. Just walking, and even then, not even hitting all my steps, which feels actually fine to say. I've literally been that fucking busy. And it's one of those things of like, I'll go for my walks, absolutely. But it's like my steps would be like 7,000, 8,000. And then I'm like, fuck, it's like 8, 9 p.m. because I've been sat at my desk all day or sat doing something else. Like I've been so ahead in my laptop. Like yesterday I was like, cool, I'm going to go for a really long walk and then I can sit down and just boom, 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 smash things out. Well, all the things I was doing took me so much longer, not so much longer, but when you do back-end stuff, when you're setting up automations, email sequences, when you're setting up things for like one launch, so my masterclass, things just take so much longer than you think. And I sat at my desk until like, I did have dinner and then I came back to my desk and I was sat there till 8:30 and then I had to wash my hair, do all the things. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like I was sitting there for 13 hours nearly. So I had hit 7,000 steps because I'd gone for my nice long walk in the morning. But it's like hitting 10,000 steps when you're literally sat your butt at a fucking desk all day. 10,000 is a lot, which is why I'm really big with my clients on like, tell me about your life. Tell me about your week. Tell me what it's like in your workday. Like oh my God, I burped again. That's a third time. So sorry. I want to know what goes on. How long are you chained to a desk? Do you have a million meetings? Because again, I've worked in offices where like I've been the assistant to certain people and they've been literally fucking chained to a meeting room all fucking day. And I'm like, especially in winter, you go to work in the dark, you come home in the dark. Like, when do you fucking have time? Like a short walk is great. Like I highly recommend, I want everyone to be able to get out for some kind of walk. But sometimes to hit 10,000 steps when you are someone that is chained to a fucking desk, that's like an hour and a half of walking, like genuinely. And I'm like, who has time for that every fucking day? So I'm really big on adjusting client step goals based on like what they've been doing, what their work schedule is like. Some people I'm like, yeah, I can definitely push you more because you're just being a little bit lazy. But there's some that I'm like, no, you need to take this 10K step pressure away and just chill a little bit. So I'm usually feeling pretty good if I do at least 7,000 to 8,000. And also I'm doing my overnight marathon walk this weekend anyway. So it's like, I can do, I don't know where my watch is. It's not on me. I could do maybe only like 8,000 today and 7,000 yesterday, but then I'm fucking walking 42 kilometers in the weekend. Like that's crazy. There's also like when I work tomorrow, I go back to back with clients and classes and semi-privates for like 8 hours. And I usually get home, I'm on 12,000 steps. Like it's really like about balancing it out over the week. But anyway, that was not the point of this message, if you will, this podcast, if you will. I just pretty much wanted to, say that it's okay if life gets fucked like this and you don't train for 5 weeks like I haven't / won't be. Again, take that with a grain of salt. I am still walking. I've got my overnight marathon walk this week and I'm still moving. I'm still doing things. I'm not saying sit and be a fucking, be a twig. Like sit and be still for 5 weeks. Like that is not at all. I think it's one of those things as well that, for me personally, by not doing my strength training, so that's my main point with this, for not doing my strength training, like I start to feel it a little bit like in my tummy, like digestion wise, like I still go, but just not as good as I would when I'm doing my strength training. Even just things like not confidence dropping, because I'm pretty confident as a human, but it's definitely something that it would affect me if I was only starting to get confident in the gym and then I didn't do it for 5 weeks. Then I'd be like, oh, now I'm not feeling confident, like I'm not feeling too strong. I will probably fucking struggle so hard when I'm back in April, like no doubt. Like, and for me, that's going to be the hardest part, is letting my ego just like stop for a second and doing lighter weights, because 5 weeks of nothing, not nothing again, 5 weeks of no strength training, those weights are gonna be fucking heavy. I'm going to be sore. It's something I say all the time. When you go back to the gym, when you start a new program, when you just start training in general, like you're gonna be sore because you're putting your body under something it's not used to, especially if you go straight in with a leg day. Oh my goodness, like leg days, they hurt the most, they elevate your heart rate the most, they're always the hardest. So if you go straight in with a leg day, just, if you're sore, don't let it affect you. Like, you have to keep going, stretch it out, go do your upper body day and then go do your full body day. Like, this is why I always give new clients full body days as well, because I'm like, you're going to be quite sore. Like, I want you to have that better recovery between sessions. So I'll always schedule full body days as well. Like, I've had a client, she when she started with me, I said, I'm going to do all full body days because like it'll be good for your recovery, because she'd only just started in the gym. She'd done 8 weeks for the PT and then she like finished up with a PT, and then she like found me online and was like, hey, can I do a training program? I was like, slay. So I was like, well, you're still getting used to it. Let's do a full body split. And like now she's just jumped into balancing her, which is so exciting. So we're doing nutrition as well. But she was like, I really want to do like a lower upper full body split. Like she trains 3 days a week. And I was like, perfect. Like now that you've been so consistent. I actually just saw her post on Instagram before. I think it was 15 weeks at the gym she's been going for, which is so stunning. But I'm like, yeah, you've been so consistent. So like, I'm so happy, like, let's do it. And like, just like be mindful of these things in terms of recovery, but like, let's go. So anyway, I just want to normalize that if life is lifing and you physically don't have the time, you physically, logistics doesn't work, and you can't get to the gym for 1 week even, it's actually okay. Like, it's actually okay. And I think it's one of those things that I see on like Instagram, you know, like influencers or other coaches pushing like, no, like I could have slept in and I chose to get up and, you know, do this session and like now I'm going to feel so much better for it. And I'm like, I would actually rather you have that extra hour or two of sleep if like you've literally, like, life has been lifing and you can't, like, you haven't been able to catch up on sleep. You've been sleeping like 5-6 hours a night. Like, I couldn't give a fucking shit if you miss that one session, as long as your recovery is good, your sleep is good. Because what's going to happen if you miss, like, if you're like, oh shit, I've got a Saturday sesh, but I'm fucked from this week, right? This week has cooked me. I have no capacity. Should I get up early and train? The answer is going to be no, because what you're going to do, not only are you still not going to have caught up on your sleep, you're also going to fuck your nervous system a little bit, because your body needs its rest, right? And you haven't let it do that. And then you go into the gym and you're probably feeling a little bit tired, a little bit stressed. So you're not warming up as much, or you haven't given your body as much time to, again, rest and digest. And then you go load it with pre-workout, and then you go and like smash yourself with a heavy weight session, and your body is stressed because it's like, hang on a sec, I'm not sleeping well. I'm not eating enough. I'm not feeling good. And now you've gone and chugged back some caffeine, and it's 5 a.m. and you're loading me up with a heavy weight, and now I feel shit. And I just think it's one of the worst things you can do. So I want to normalize that. And like, take this with a grain of salt. Like, don't just skip it because you're being lazy. Skip it if you fucking need to. And you know what? Message me if you want. If you're like, hey, Sarah, my week felt like X, Y, Z. I don't know if it's a good idea if I train. Send me the data. Send me a voice message. I love a voice message. Send me all the details, and then I'll like give you my honest opinion. Obviously, as much as I know from you, but I'll give you my honest opinion on that. And you know what? I actually, looking back in my notes, I don't really have anything else that I want to touch on. So I want to relate that actually back to my masterclass that I said I'm running on the 30th of March. I just read May before. 30th of March. It's a Monday night, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. I will help you in real time with literally what I was just talking about, like helping you restructure your life, your life, your training, your nutrition, like helping you put a plan in place that you're going to be able to actually stick to, you're going to be able to be consistent in, because we all know consistency wins, right? And we don't really know it until we're doing it. Like, there are so many times that I would be like, oh yeah, I know I need to be consistent. But then I was like, why the fuck can't I be consistent? And it wasn't until I restructured things and actually worked with my life instead of against it. Do you know what I mean? So instead of trying to make my health and fitness fit whatever X influencer was doing, I made it fit my life. That's when we become consistent. That's when you actually stick to it. And that's when you actually see the best results. So if you are keen, send me a DM, and I can send you the link, and then we can go about it. Like I said, if you're listening to this after the 30th of March, then you can still DM me, because I will still send you the link. But I'm going to wrap this up here. I can't believe this went for 43 minutes, so it's going to be 45 by the time I finish, because I was really like, it's only a life update. There's really not much to say, but classic me, one thing leads to another, ADHD brain. Yeah, all the things. Oh my God, if anyone wants more on ADHD, I know I did an episode on like how it kind of changed my view on things, but like I guess on how I handle like anything to do with ADHD, let me know, because I'm non-medicated. I handle everything naturally. I fucking do so much in my life, and I still manage to stay on track with things. I used to be very all or nothing, and now I'm like, the balance is balancing. So if you want any episodes on that, let me know. And like, let me know specifically so I can actually tailor it to what you want and what you want to know, or what you need help with, or what you struggle with. So anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you here. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, please like, if you're on YouTube. I was going to say, what's the word for Spotify? I don't know. Give us a follow, rate the podcast if you enjoy it, and leave a comment, like I said, if you want help with any of the things that I said. But I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'll be back in your ears next week with a guest episode. 99% sure it's a guest episode with Casey, talking all things. Maybe I won't give it away, but she's another nutritionist who had her very own journey, a lot of menstrual cycle talk, a lot of skinny talk as well. I might leave that there. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. But I'll see you guys in next week's episode. Bye.